Hello, my name is Gunnar Tapper. In this video, I explain how to build the Trafodion source tree. The first thing you do is you go to the Trafodion website, which is travodionapache.org, and then you click on the Contribute menu item. This brings you to the Trafodion wiki and the Trafodion contributor guide. This guide explains everything you need to know about how to contribute to our project. In this video, we cover two topics: how to create the build environment, and then how to build the source. So simply click on the chapter, which then brings you to a table of content, which shows you that what supported platforms you need to do this on, how to install the required packages, that you need to remove pdish, how to verify the Java version and set up that environmental variable, how to download and install the Trafodion source tree, how to install the build tools that Trafodion uses, and then how to verify the build environment. So here I have a virtual machine running CentOS. So now I just need to follow the instructions step by step. The first thing I need to do is to verify that I have the right version. So I can simply copy and paste this command, and it shows me that I'm running CentOS 6.7. The next step for me is to install the required packages. So I copy the command and I paste it into my session. And in this case, the Apple release was already installed, so I didn't need to do anything. Then I take the next set of packages, which is a big list. I copy that and I paste it into my shell session, and I let that run, letting it install all the packages I need in order to build Trafodion. I've now installed all my packages, so let's see what's next. The next step is to remove pdish, and that's because the build tools gets confused if pdish is installed. We will fix this in a later release, but for now, let's remove it in case this is installed. Again, copy paste and simply remove pdish. So next I need to check my Java version, and I need to run Java 7. So I look at that. So I am running that. Now it's important for me to make sure I set up the environmental variable Java home. So normally in a brand new installation, this is not set, so which we can see here by echoing that environmental variable. I need to use a JDK directory, and I need to point to that directory, not to just user with a symbolical link. So let's find such a directory. And I have several. I'm going to use this last one here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the variable Java home to that directory name. And then I verify it by simply typing in the information. That worked. And then I also wanted to have it in my bash C. So we provide that type of command directly for you. So now it's in my bash environment. Next, I need to install the Trafodion source. We provide information on how to do that. In this video, I'm not going to do any changes to the source tree, so I don't need to set up my Git account and all that kind of stuff. I'm simply going to download it using Git. Otherwise, you can jump to that specific chapter in the guide, and it will tell you how to set up your Git environment and how to fork the Trafodion source tree and all that kind of stuff. That information is provided for you too. So let's go back to where we were, and I'm simply going to download the source tree. It's very simple. I just copy that command and I paste it in, and then we download the source tree onto our virtual machine or our development workstation, whichever you might have. The source tree has been downloaded, so it's going to be installing in a folder called Incubator Trafodion. And as you can see here we have the source tree. The next thing we need to do is install the required build tools. As you can see in the guide, there are quite a few tools we need to install, and most of these tools are built locally, so it takes quite a long time to do that. To make it simpler to install these tools, we created a script which is called traf_tools_setup sh. It's a shell script, of course, and it will download all the different tarballs, unpack them, and then build the different tools. So what we need to do here is document in the guide. So first thing I need to do is to move to where I installed Trafodion. In my case, it's in the incubator Trafodion and then into the install directory. As you can see there, we have the installer, the overall make file, and then we have the traf_tools_setup shell script. We need to create two directories. So I always create them like this. So I'm just copy paste. The first directory, which I call Trafodion download, is where I'm going to download all my tar files. And then the Trafodion build tools directory is where all the build tools will be hosted once they're built. So then I run the setup tool, copy that, and I simply run it. Now this takes quite some time to run. I expect it to run somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. So you can go away and have lunch or a cup of coffee. I'll see you on the other side. I'm back and the tools have now been installed. So let's look at what we do next in the guide. We need to set up the toolsteer environmental variable. So I'm just going to copy that and again paste it in. And then we also need to add it to our bash rc file. So I copy that string, and of course you modify this if you install the tools in a different directory. So we have that now. Next, the last part of this is we need to verify a build environment. So we need to make sure that Maven is installed and that we can get to it. So we do Maven version. So in this environment, we didn't have a Maven environment. So I'm going to point it to the build tools we used. So I'm going to modify my path and point it to my tools directory. The final thing I want to do is to verify my whole environment. So let me just clear this so it's easier to see what's going on. So the first thing I'm going to do is source my bash rc file. Then I want to check my Java home variables. I copy the command to echo that and make sure it has a real value. Then I check my toolsteer environment variable. I verify my Maven version. And finally, I check the version of my G++ compiler, which is used for C++ programs. And that's everything. So that's all we need to do to set up the build environment. And we're ready to build it, which is the next step here. As you can see, this chapter ends with a pointer jet. So I click on that and I go into the chapter that explains how to build source. This is a standalone chapter because what we just did, you only need to do once. And then, of course, you can build and download source several times on the same environment. So we can skip ahead here because we already did these type of things, and we needed to source in all the environmental variables used for the Trafodion build. So we go to the install directory, which is incubator Trafodion, and we're going to source in the envsh file here. So we do that. And when we do that, we get information about how to build the different packages. As you can see, there are three different ways to build here. You have the make all, which builds Trafodion. That's the server-side code. The DCS, or the data connectivity services, that's your ODBC, JDBC environment needed to connect from third-party applications into Trafodion, and then the Trafodion REST interface. If you do make package, you build all that plus the client drivers, which it creates tar files, which you then install on client machines that's going to talk to Trafodion. And if you do make package all, then you build all the above plus all the test libraries. The last part here, which talks about install underscore local Hadoop, is about setting up your test environment, and we will cover that in a different video. So let's just start the Trafodion make, and we're going to make it simple. So it's going to do a make all, and that runs the Trafodion make, and it will go on for quite some time. First time. So I will pause here and will return once the make has completed. So the build the make has completed and we have everything done. So let's go back to our contributor guide. As you can see here, what I built was the debug environment, and it also explains how to build the release environment if you're not interested in the debug environment. So we've done all this stuff, and let's go down and verify the build. So the first thing we need to do is just check that we built all the binaries. And there you have them. And then finally, we can use the version tool, which is called skverse, with the U parameter to make sure that everything looks like we want it to do. And there you have it. We're building 2.0, a debug build on CentOS, and this is the master branch. And that's really all there is to creating a Trafodion build environment and to build the source code. As you can see here in the guide, there's lots more to cover: how to create the test environment, how to manage it, how to do tests, how to manage defects, and on and on and all that stuff. Also, we explain how to modify code, modify test documentation, the website, and many other things. Please come and join us and help us develop this tremendous product. The contributor guide will help you get started. Thank you and have a nice day.